1919, my great-grandparents came here. They bought the next plot next to it, and that's how we ended up with the farm here. I came back to the farm in 93. The first thing we did was we fenced the whole farm. It's game fenced. For us, it was a security. Our stock theft was a problem. But I got to work with the communities next to me, and that helped a lot. We keep a strict vaccination program because here there's every disease. I can be happy that any cow that leaves here or animal that leaves here can go anywhere in the country and it'll do fine. We put the bulls in the 1st of December and take them out end of March. And then I have another one, a short season from the 1st of June, the end of July. So it's 2 months. We did used to breed our heifers at that time. But because of our conditions that go up and down all the time, it's not constant. What we did was we kept the heifers for an extra year and they calve at 3 years. And whatever's not in calf, I'll just rebull again at the end of the year because I build them just for 2 months. Each herd has got 10 camps and it's worked out according to the, so there's about 150 cows in each herd and that's according to obviously the grazing capacity. We move weekly in the summer and every 2 weeks in winter. Because we had that drought for 3-4 years, after 100 years of breeding, you make a decision to keep the cows. The first time we select is at weaning. Once I've weaned them, they go to the other farm. And there's oxen and heifers up there. I can't breed cattle up there because of leopards and hyenas and all that type of stuff. So they spend 2 years up there just growing, and then I'll bring them back here, bull them. If anything that's not in calf, sent to the abattoir out of those heifers. My philosophy is I'll go to a sale to buy the best bull. The hind quarter, your top line, that's where the meat is and that's what I'm producing. I look at that bull visually, then go and sit and look at the milk, obviously. The growth, the 200 days, the growth, 400 days, because obviously if I'm going to feed them in a feedlot, your feed conversion. So for me, it's easy now. That animal comes back, put it in the feedlot, I feed it, I know what it costs to feed that animal. I worked, sat and did the maths. I'm making that extra, whether it be 1,500 Rand per animal. Craig here in town, at the end of the day, from when you put a bull to a cow, you watch that cow calve, the calf grow up, you wean it, it grows, you feed it, you send it there, you see the carcass, and then you see the quality of meat that Craig is selling in his butchery. And it makes me proud at the end of the day that I've had a part in that his business as well.
Sheep and beef have been our main lines always, up to the last 10 years where crops have now also come in quite a big way. We run an extensive beef and sheep operation. We use our felt as much as we can. We're fortunate to have what we call low-lying country, which is deep valleys and gorges on the other side of the mountain, which we use in the winter. We will start calving in August. The cows will come back from our winter ground. We've got a 3-month calving period. In this year we had cattle out on the 10th of September. So, and then we try and put out small groups just to eat down the wiregrass, the slebine, because you don't want that to get away too much. They come through here, they get dehorned, we put rings on, we put rings on for castrating, dehorned and branded, and then we push them up to the summer ground. So we'll have a 3-paddock system, and then for every 2 groups of cattle we'll have 1 flock of sheep. So the sheep will have a 6-paddock system, and they'll move weekly behind the cattle, but they'll jump between the two paddock systems. And we wean in April. On our conception rates, we aim at about 85% across an average. Some guys will be in the 90s here. Some people will be lower than what we are. I think we think it's an environmental thing, and we push our animals. We don't overfeed. It's all about profitability. We run a feedlot. Everything gets finished on the farm. So our cows will go into the feedlot. They're in there for a month to 6 weeks. On the breed side, we've got a Hereford stud, which my grandfather started, and 46, and it's not a big stud herd, around about 30, 40 cows, and they're registered. We'll try and find the best bull we can. This property came up, but we had to have a go at it because it's a farm we've been looking at for years, and it's right next door to us.
When they bought the farm next door, it's 2,600 hectares. It was largely undeveloped. There had been arable in the last how many years, but the plan was to do it in phases. Pat and John are both absolute sticklers for making sure that everything happens to the very best it can happen. They are really doing the best they can with lean resources.
We were about 600 cows, breeding cows, when I came home here to farm in 1998, and we'll make 1,200 this year, and then we'll be up to about 1,500 cows, hopefully in 2 years' time.
When I moved to Underberg in the late 70s, I was a farm manager on this farm. I got the lease and then started building up numbers slowly, and we've managed to buy 2 or 3 more other farms, and now we've got like nearly 1,000 breeding cows. I've got a lot of arable on this farm, a lot of winter food here, and I bring all my followers back here. I can have maybe 1,500 animals on this farm. When I wean my heifers, they go on to, and oxen, they go on to ryegrass. They get backgrounded on ryegrass before they come into the feedlot. My heifers are mated on ryegrass as well. I've got one small group of autumn calvers because this farm hasn't got much summer grazing. It's mostly arable. I have herds of about 100 to 120 mature cows, and I put them out as late as possible. I know a lot of people say they must rather put them out very early and they get the slevine and so on like that. I rather get them going, the cows going on May silage, and then the bulls going in on the 1st of October. A cow who loses a calf for whatever reason, the herd boys cut her tail, and she also comes through to the feedlot and she's out. I do keep a small nucleus of Angus type animals pure, so that I can make use of the hybrid vigor when I put my Brahman bulls onto my Angus type cows, and then my Angus bulls onto the Brahman type cows. My middle of the road type cows, my Brangus type cows, I've been using Beefmaster on those, just to get a bit of uniformity. I'm fully stocked now. Now's the time now. I can start now selecting a type. The look of the bull, first of all, I look at the dam's figures. Often a bull that's from a dam that's at maybe 9 or 10 calves. And obviously you've got a budget. I mean, this year I bought 9 bulls. I find hybrid vigor is very important to me because it's for free. And I get good hybrid vigor from those type of crosses. Why I use the Brangus is because those heifers don't calve here on this farm. They calve out on the other farms in the mountain, and we don't have any calving problems. The maize, I do about 120 hectares of white maize on this farm, and I put that all through either the feedlot or I do mealie meal as well, and then the hominy chop goes into the feedlot. I haven't got the prettiest cows around, but they all calve, they all produce me weaners, and I think that's the most important thing for me now. Now, obviously we try and get as many calves as possible. That's why I'm strict on fertility and mothering ability. You know, if a cow produces a calf and I can sell a weaner, once she comes through the feedlot, then I'm happy, then I'm on the right track. If there's money in the bank, then I'm making a profit.